Buongiorno ragazzi. Hello everyone from Rome, Italy. I'm in the heart of Europe, keeping tabs on all of the geopolitical dots that are circulating around these days. But first of all, big shout out to Dot Campus. You can see the sign behind me. They've been incredibly hospitable, allowing me to use their facilities to do live interviews, videos like this. It's a great place in the center of Rome to eat, work, play, stay, exercise, network, to eat, and to, of course, get refreshments with a fantastic rooftop bar and restaurant. So don't want to do too big of a PR spiel, but they have looked after me so well. But the biggest thanks I have to give, of course, is to you, paid subscribers to World Briefing. Today is Saturday, and that only means one thing, is the video I do for you is for you alone, an exclusive video to kind of give you my exclusive take on what's happening. There's so much to talk about right now, but I will do my best to keep it pretty tight. I may look a bit bleary-eyed because very little sleep after staying awake till about 2 in the morning last night as things wrapped up in Alaska. The main thing I have to say from that whole circus is, it boggles the mind that this was a scenario which was under 100% control of the White House, the U.S. government, of the Trump administration, and yet from even the moment before Vladimir Putin, a wanted war criminal, landed on U.S. soil, to the time he left, it looked like almost every moment was scripted by the Kremlin. And in terms of what actually happened behind the closed doors, remember that Trump said he would know in the first 2 or 3 minutes whether a deal could be made. Well, he ended up staying well over 2 hours, and we haven't heard very much other than some vague declarations that there's no deal until there's a deal, that consultations have to be held with the Europeans and with Mr. Zelensky. But it was really incredible to watch Mr. Putin at the end, full of confidence, brimming with happiness, almost, leading the press conference, talking about a reset bilateral relationship between Russia and the United States, but also bringing out the old Kremlin talking points that, we are a brotherly nation with Ukraine, and of course, all root causes must be eliminated. So we all know what that means by now. That means pushing Ukraine back, having elections, perhaps getting a new leader, demilitarizing, taking territories where there are Russian speakers, giving up its NATO bid. The list goes on and on and on, most of which no Ukrainian president could ever agree to, especially the swapping of territory or the giving up of territory. As I said on CNN just now, I don't know if I'll be able to play a clip or not, but countless Ukrainians have given their blood, have spilled their blood, have paid the ultimate price for this war, and there's no way any Ukrainian president could go to Washington, as Mr. Zelensky is going to on Monday, and coming back and saying we have to give up territory. You would have another Maidan, another widespread protest on your hands. And by the way, he's hemmed in by the Constitution. He can't do that. Speaking of which, we just found out today that after, I think it was about a 2-hour talk with Mr. Zelensky, 1 or 1.5 hour, which was solo with him and Mr. Trump, Trump did speak to the European leaders, and the European leaders reiterated their backing for Ukraine, and that there's no way Kyiv is going to be backed into any unfair deal, and that a durable and long-lasting peace deal, not a temporary ceasefire, is needed with guarantees, solid guarantees. But I just told CNN I have a very, very bad gut feeling about this. I have a feeling Mr. Zelensky going to the White House on Monday may be walking into a trap. We all remember the video of him in February in the Oval Office, that horrible, humiliating dressing down by Mr. Trump. Might the same thing happen, or might Mr. Zelensky be forced to swallow a deal that he made with Mr. Putin? We just don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But one thing I'm very, very convinced about is, as we found out with Mr. Putin in Alaska, symbolism and imagery is really, really important. And, Mr. Zelensky, again, he was terribly dressed down. He probably shouldn't even go back to the White House, but here we are, he is. Show up at the White House and refuse to shake Mr. Trump's hand. He can just say, Mr. Trump, with all due respect, but you just shook hands with a wanted war criminal. You just shook hands with someone who has the blood on their hands of countless Ukrainians who he has killed, his forces have killed. You have just shook hands with someone who is responsible for the forcible abduction to Russia of countless Ukrainian children, the very thing you've been indicted for at the International Criminal Court. I think that would send a very strong message to Mr. Trump. It would get back to Russia. Of course, it could ignite Mr. Trump again, but you know what? So be it. So be it. I think there comes a point where you have to stand up for your principles, where you have to show your toughness. And, just look at the way Canada has been treated. Prime Minister Mark Carney has tried to butter up Mr. Trump. Keir Starmer of the United Kingdom has buttered it up to the point where he's probably sent Mr. Trump's cholesterol level through the roof. We just don't know what works. This mercurial mind of his, I will reiterate that we are at a point now where, actually it's been for quite some time, where Europe has given a heck of a lot more, double the amount in financial aid, military assistance to Ukraine than the United States has. Once again, Mr. Trump, before leaving Alaska, threw out that falsehood that that the United States has given 360, 380 billion to Ukraine. It's not even half of that. So Ukraine is in a stronger position in terms of that. They also really have ramped up their domestic production of drones. And, the dynamics of fighting have changed quite a bit. But that it doesn't mean that Mr. Zelensky can tell the Americans to go to hell. No way, because he still needs those very, very valuable and scarce Patriot missile defense systems. He needs the invaluable intelligence that comes from the United States that, remember, was temporarily suspended a few weeks ago. And the Ukrainian military, from what we know, is still very heavily dependent on Elon Musk's Starlink satellite communication system. So if that were all to go away suddenly, it wouldn't be very, very good news. I am going to be watching carefully again on Monday of what happens in Washington. It doesn't sound like we're headed in a direction where there would be a trilateral meeting soon down the road between Zelensky, Putin, and Donald Trump. Could happen, but I'm not so sure about that. And if Mr. Trump is intent on keeping Mr. Putin within his guardrails, making him pay a real price for the war in Ukraine, it seems that the strongest leverage he has right now is to threaten sanctions, tariffs on the big purchasers of Russian oil, namely India, namely China, namely Brazil. There are a few others as well. I think if that were to happen, it would be very, very difficult geopolitically, but if it were to happen, Mr. Putin would feel himself very squeezed. There is another problem there too, is that it could raise the cost of gasoline at the pump, something that any American president needs to be sensitive to. But let me end on a final thought. We are at a very, very critical juncture right now, and it's really, really important that the Europeans not only speak what they want to speak, but they back it up with solid actions. That includes the 280 to 290 billion euros in frozen Russian sovereign assets sitting in European banks. Take that now, give it to the Ukrainians, say, it's for you, for weapons, for reconstruction, whatever you want, but enough is enough. Let's give that to you. And had they helped Ukraine defeat Russia than just to help Ukraine try to defend itself, we wouldn't probably be even talking about this right now. A message to leaders in the European capitals. Thank you again for your support, and I look forward to giving you more exclusive insight a week from now, but also here and there during the week. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.